again, YouTube? This is Dr. Kendo, and I'm back with Scribblenauts Unlimited. This is the Object Editor commentaries where I create your favorite characters in the Object Editor. I create gaming, movie, TV, sometimes nerd and geek culture related items, and whatever is most popular or most requested is what gets created each week. So we started off with Jeremiah Slackska. That's one of the Fifth Cell developers. That is the source object, and you can see that we've removed everything except for the torso here, which I just showed off. And you'll notice that we painted it black and white scale, and that's actually for two of the characters from Undertale, which we're creating today because that was the most popular and most requested item. We're going to be creating the Skelebros, Sans, and Papyrus. Here on the 23rd page of the 29-page library, you want to grab these bended arms because Sans, we're actually going to do it sort of like how he has his hands in his pockets a lot. Well, we're going to show off one way. I guess you could create it like that. If you want to color the little tips of the hands white to show that that's his hands right there, you can. Or you can just paint that black if you want it to look like his hands are actually fully in his pockets. But anyway, we also took the thighs of a golem. Those are going to be like his shorts or whatever. And then we've got a dancer's foot. Really, it's the whole leg of the dancer, of course, painted all white, but it's going to be serving for the foot. Dolphin, take the back fin. So just kind of put your cursor here where you can see the little white star where my cursor was. And you'll get this back fin of the dolphin. We've used this several times in my series, but the reason that I like this back fin instead of the front fin is because the front fin does have the little black dot kind of towards the end of it where the dolphin's joint connector piece is. The letter I is going to not only be for the bottom of his sneakers or whatever, and then it's also going to be a zipper, I guess the side of his jacket. You know, you can see the zipper on both sides. So we've just basically taken this letter I, we're going to paint it gray, but we've also painted it with this kind of goofy color pattern that sort of looks semi-circuit-ish, but it can also serve as the zipper. It looks pretty good like that. Then we're taking a piece of an octopus. It's kind of the front part of the tentacles. It's almost like the upper tentacle part, I guess, closer to the octopus's body. But anyway, then we've got this 29-page library arm. This is from the 20th page in the bottom middle. That's going to be for the other side. So basically this octopus piece and the 29-page library arm, those are going to serve as just little indentations in his jacket, possibly where there's a crease or pocket or something like that. And then we're also going to take that same octopus piece. I guess we'll put it on the other leg here. We're going to put it on his shorts. It's sort of like either for creases in the shorts or just possibly a design. And then we're going to also use a twiddle for the other side. Twiddle. So then we're going to put that down. Looks good. Of course, Sans is only one of the characters in Undertale, and I know that most of the requests were for Sans and Papyrus, so that's just why I'm doing these two today only. We are going to have the other Undertale characters represented though, so never fear, we will be creating them as well. Probably in its own episode that's not uploaded on Sunday, so it'll be like an extra episode, hopefully next week, but possibly 2 weeks from now. But anyway, we're going to start off with the head as the source object for Sans' head, and then we're going to put the body of a golem. I know it looks really fat at first, and Sans, you know, in comparison to Papyrus is taller and thinner than Sans is, and Sans is sort of stocky. He's shorter and wider, but the same goes for their skulls. And so Sans, this is sort of actually one of the hardest stamp pieces that I've ever had to find in this series, is what could we use for the skull of Sans' head, basically. You know, you could say, oh, well, it's obvious, go with a skull, or go with, you know, just a head, or something like that, but to really get the detail and to get the exact shape, and, well, not just that, but also all of those things that I just mentioned, you know, will have other lines in them, you know, it's like the head is just a simple, almost rounded square shape and stuff, and so it wouldn't exactly be the right shape, but you'd have to add to it, and then there would be a line kind of in the middle of his face that is not really there. And the same would go for a skull. The skull also has the teeth hanging down and stuff. It would be, I guess, for me, it would make less sense to edit it from that standpoint. By all means, if that's what you used, go for it. I'm just showing you what I used and giving my rationale. An octopus piece is going to be for his smile, and then we've put down jellyfish, the top of the jellyfish legs, not the point, but the tentacles of the jellyfish there to make the lines for the teeth. And then I've got 29-page library arm shapes, the straight one in the top right corner of the 29-page library. That's sort of for the ends of his mouth, you know, the little creases in his mouth. And then a scorpion, the top middle piece of the scorpion's tail is going to be for the nose hole on Sans' head. And eggs, so an egg painted black twice is going to be for the eyes. And it looks like that what I'm trying out right now is going to work a little bit better. So I'm going to use this eyebrow instead of the octopus piece. That's going to be for the mouth. It's a little bit more smiley, and it's just, to me, it looks like a better stamp to use. Again, I encourage everybody to use their own. I'm just giving you ideas and hopefully showing you stamps and and ways you can create and also these videos are for entertainment, of course. But here we go. There's also some little lines and stuff that you can see underneath Sans' eyes, and so I've represented that with some eyebrows. We may change this though if I have enough stamps. I'm just gonna kind of check it out first. We're gonna go ahead with a marshmallow to make the eyes, the little pupils, I guess, in his eyes. The marshmallow is sort of a square shape that can shrink down smaller than a sugar cube or than an ice cube, and so I felt like maybe the marshmallow would be a good one for that. You could also go with pimples if you want to. They're a little bit more round, and I was going for a square shape, but when I think about it, it looks like we can probably use 29-page library arm shapes. Again, that same straight one that we used on the curls of the mouth, those little creases, we can use 2 on each eye, on each side, and that will represent the little lines underneath his eyes. But yes, Sans is a major character in Undertale and is obviously the brother of Skeleton Bro Papyrus. Depending on the player's actions, Sans will either be a supporting character or a heroic antagonist. As many of us have noted, this Skelebro is a short and big-boned skeleton who wears a hoodie or jacket of some kind, unzipped at all times, and according to his Steam trading card, he's also wearing black shorts and sneakers. We won't be creating him with the glowing, flashy eye, but if you want to create it like that, you could probably either use a goldfish's bottom fin or a football or a piece of a walrus or something like that. But here we go, we've got the body of Papyrus right here. Started off with a Titan as the source object. I went with the male. You could probably get away with using the female Titan as well. Shrink the body really small so you can actually get a glimpse at how thin his body is right here. We actually had to shrink that Titan really small. But you can see I'm taking away the coloration on these pieces. These are all 29-page library arm shapes. They are the straight one in the top right corner of the 29-page library, as well as that kind of curved bent one in the bottom middle of the 20th page. So you can see them right here on my left side of the screen on that panel. My cursor was highlighting them. So each one of those is a 29-page library shape, but we'll go ahead and make them white again, so I'll undo that. And here's a look as I take pieces away from the body, kind of at the torso. You can see that's where the Titan's torso was, so obviously we kept that on, it being the source object and all. So anyway, what I'm highlighting here right now are the letter I. So you've got the letter I about 5 times in this creation. The top of the belt or top of the hips, the 2 legs, the 2 arms, 4 arms mostly, and lots of other things. We've got Bubble as his shoulder pieces. You just saw that I took the color away from those right there. And then we've got a clown nose. That's going to be for his right hand. It would be to our left, but to his right. And then on the other side is a heel. That's like one of his poses. He looks kind of fabulous and like stylish. And so he has his hands kind of out to the side. And so that's why I did a heel for that one. That would be his left hand to our right. Boot is going to be for his feet. Painted white, of course. And then we've got an amber right here for the top part, basically where his chest, his pectorals are. And then a humpback whale. Take the front fin of the humpback whale, and that's going to be for the start of his scarf, I guess. And then the other flowy piece is the top arm of a shambler in the back. Shambler for shambler. And 29-page library arm shapes are also for the little black lines and stuff on his left pectoral near his chest right there, just for that ornamentation or whatever. And so we've got a head as the source object, of course, but we've replaced the main part of it with a kickball right here. So if you take basically a bleach white color, so go into the color customization and take like the whitest white you can get, you can really take away most of that design of the kickball. You could see that there was like a little logo of a guy kicking a ball on the kickball, some weird goofy kickball logo that they put in there. Well, you can remove most of that by having a bleach white color. Of course, if you're doing all black, you could also get rid of it that way, but obviously Papyrus's head is not all black. And we've got marshmallow once again for the teeth right here. It's going to be for Papyrus's teeth. We've done it about 4 times. That's for his upper teeth, I should specify. And then we've got a jaw. That's going to be for his actual jaw, of course, and those teeth down there. Take the jellyfish. You can take that tentacle piece once again, and that's going to be for one of his eyebrows, I guess, just above his eye right there, the bent one. And you can also do it straight for the other eyebrow. So both of his top eyebrows are going to be with the jellyfish. And you can see that I'm removing the color now to go back to the original color of the 29-page library arms. Those are for the bottom eyebrows. I just did it twice on each eye, so that's 4 times. And then also at the edge of the bent eyebrow at the top. And I don't know what I'm talking about bottom eyebrows. I mean basically the bottom of his eyes. You don't have a bottom eyebrow. Anyway, his actual eyes are going to be tofu, Tofu, and just paint those all black. And then we've got a scorpion, that same piece of the tail, that's from the top kind of middle tail piece of the scorpion. That's going to be for his nose hole, as well as there is a 29-page library arm shape kind of made to be shrunken down as small as it could be. And I put a mango spear within his mouth, painted all black, just to kind of cover up that space, I guess, in between his top and his bottom teeth. You don't have to do that, that's just something that I wanted to do and sort of fit their art style that is in the game of Undertale. On that note, you'll probably notice, of of course, we've made the black and white scale of these characters. I will show off the color scale a little bit later, but this is just, again, just a look at the black and white view of them. But you gotta love Papyrus, also known as Cool Skeleton 95. Not only is he the other Skelebro and another major character in Undertale, but he also totally led my friend, Steph of Anime, on for a date so long before telling her that he just wasn't interested. For that, we have a small problem, but either way, he's a pretty cool character regardless. And so now we've got this man. I'm testing out their projectiles right now. I put a hostile man. Both of them are scripted to protect skeletons, which is what objects react to them as in their scripting. But skeletons will yield a just general category, so you could pick Halloween, you could pick like scary, you know, whatever general category you feel could best fit what you want. Now we've got this crazy beast thing here. This is also to test out the script. I was hoping he was going to protect his brother right there, Papyrus. Okay, he just had to get hit. So now he's got the little shield. Unfortunately, I can't put Papyrus and Sans in the same plane. You know, I can't put one in front of the other because they'll shoot each other in the back. So you actually notice that Sans did shoot Papyrus in the back on accident. But anyway, they are scripted to shoot out a bone as their projectile. That is sort of obvious, but obviously it looks a little bit different, I guess, than in the game Undertale. You know, they're not vertical bones, but it gets sort of the same point across, I hope. So here's a good look at the color version, if you want to color up your Papyrus. And so I'm actually going to also remove the heel right here on his other hand, and so we'll take that away, and then this is just kind of a look to show you if both of his hands look the same. We can take the clown nose and put that on the other side. So there we go, there's our Papyrus creation with color, and so we should probably just do a last minute sizing adjustment and moving of some things, and it all looks good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and name him as well. Let's see. We'll just do color Papyrus, and we'll save that, and now we'll go over to Sans, and so I'm actually going to replace Sans' arms as well. So if you wanted to not do the bent arms, but just do them sort of straight outside of his pockets or whatever, we've taken Jeremiah, that's his source object, and we just put back on the arms of Jeremiah. So you can see that. Hopefully that looks good to you as well if that's the kind of design that you're going for, but we've made his jacket blue and have the gray on it and all of that stuff. So here's a look at them all together, but as I said, we are creating other Undertale characters, most likely in the next episode that will air of this series, but it probably won't be on Sunday. It'll probably be just an additional thing. If it's not the very next episode, then it will be the one after that, so don't be afraid if it's not the very next thing uploaded to my channel. But this is a look at one of the characters just as a teaser for you. We've got Flowey, that crazy flower. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and stay tuned for more. As always, I love all of you in Kendopolis. You guys are the bomb, so I will catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing. I love you guys! Also, you can be the viewer and...